to see the new Soniqs played. This is their first time here on the big stream. Of course, if you're watching the community streams, which I hope you were, then you've seen them before. But up against FaZe Clan, like, oh, this is going to be a tough matchup. And the first player banned out, or the first operator banned out is Ash. Huh.
I mean, we saw an Ash ban yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
I'm still confused, especially because it's FaZe starting on the defense that decide to ban it.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, Sleben and Gumpy are good, but they're good on a lot of ops. I don't know if this is like a joystick situation where they're thinking if they can target ban the Ash player, they'll be okay. That seems like there could have been other operators banned by FaZe. We'll see what they round it out with.
It's going to be, they took their time with it. It's going to be an Echo, though, so very standard defensive bans, sure. Why not? We'll get those two off of the board and we'll head into things, of course. FaZe Clan going to decide decision. They're going to choose to start on defense. Pretty standard from them as well. But yeah, the Ash bans are really the big thing for me. And the Thatcher ban, I don't think you can ignore it either. Going to make it very, very difficult to deal with stuff like Electro Claws, ban of batteries, you know, so many things. And Yuna going to jump on that operator immediately because he knows that that's off the board.
Yeah, and losing the Thatcher as well in the ban phase is going to amplify impact tricking because there's more of a delay. You either got to get frag grenades over the wall and the Jaeger's not banned, so you don't have a quick way to get rid of ADSs unless you're burning over the wall, which will trigger the rest of the defensive team to go, oh, they want to get the wall right now. So now we have more time to react and get a player with impact grenades in place. There's a pretty, I mean, the freezer wall facing Piano, it's very finicky as to whether or not it likes to be impact trick friendly.
Right.
It goes back and forth. There's this tiny little crack at the top of the wall where sometimes impact tricks can work, sometimes they just utterly fail. I don't think even I've figured out what the proper trajectory is for that impact grenade, but we'll see maybe if FaZe has that one mapped out better than I do.
Well, we're going to start up here on the third floor. Bar Cocktail is the very first bomb site that FaZe Clan want to go to, and this is very common for a lot of teams where they kind of like to go. It was pretty sort of back and forth in this game where this map first came out. Of course, this is the newest map in the pool, kind of. It is returning after getting an update, and I think people are a lot more on this map now that it's gotten the updates. Definitely is a lot better of a map to play. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this one turns out. Rob, I know you love this map as well.
Oh, I despise this map. Thanks for bringing that up.
No problem. Well, hey, we're getting another round right now, and the Soniqs, is there anything they're going to have to worry about there? Yeah.
What were those evil eyes? You got two evil eyes on opposite sides of the cigar door to bar. That's curious.
I mean, if you look at what the Soniqs have to deal with evil eyes, it's a lot. They have Twitch, they have Zofia, they have Sledge. So perhaps they're just thinking, well, they're going to use some utility to get in, and then maybe we can use some more, you know, get a second evil eye in there in case they don't see it. I don't know, that is curious.
Typically, you'd see the evil eyes a little more spread out and looking at two different angles instead of both looking at the same angle. But hey, maybe Astra has game planned this out, and he's got a some next level 6,000 IQ strategy. Yeah, we can see them both right here on either side of the door.
Hey, I trust him, and it's working out somewhat. Ion gonna get the very first kill with a run out. Oh, okay, and he's still alive back here, fully detected. Needs to get back in sooner rather than later. Ideally, still wanting to peek him, and eventually he gets the second kill. A headshot into Super. Ion starts this match off with a bang. Probably shouldn't have gotten that one, but wow, credit to him, and Golfy gonna answer right on back.
Well, losing the Ash doesn't slow down Gomfy, but Super and Neptunes will both meet their maker very early on here in round number 1. Looking for some more intel or Valkyrie cameras and Evil Eyes up, as well as the default cameras to worry about for Sleben, so he'll be ripping through the entirety of the bar, trying to remove every possible electronic device that could reveal the location. And right now for the Soniqs, you're all stacked up inside a cigar. The prone peek from the bullet holes from Astro takes the head clean off of Sleben. There goes the IQ. So now all you've got is the lifeline that's being used right now by Gomfy. He'll be down by Yoon on the TCSG. It's all up to Goddess now underneath the new hatch balcony. Ping's coming out for some drones behind the cocktail bar, but Goddess not moving, knowing that it's time to bait. It's time to sit here and wait for a swing, get your kill, and get some momentum going. A little over a minute to work with here for Goddess, carrying the diffuser, but can't make it in through Freezer, cannot breach because of the Electro Claw, attempting to push White Hallway, and it looks like, never mind. Takes the head clean off of Ion. The Evil Eyes now zapping away at Goddess. She gets one, but has to retreat into Cigar for some safety.
All right, I mean, started off kind of nice, but again, it's a lot of players. You do have time on your side, so isn't it the most impossible clutch I've ever seen? And Goddess is very used to this role, right? Playing on the Thermite, comfortable here, dealing with those evil eyes now. I suppose if one gets shot, you still have that second one. So perhaps that's kind of what he's thinking at. Just in that situation. Goddess has worked her way in a little bit, taking some ground, but it's Mav to finally put her down. FaZe Clan will take the very first round, and to me, this felt like a round that sort of set the pace for things, especially with Ion and his shenanigans.
Yeah, like I said in the lead up, FaZe are not going to back down from turning this into an absolute slugfest, and starting on the defense is the perfect start for FaZe, as they kind of have free reign to do whatever they want. And the Sonics better get used to this, because I don't think that kind of tempo is going to slow down anytime soon. Neptune's making a slight alteration to the lineup this time, as he's going to go for a Maverick instead of a Twitch, and we get a Legion on the side of Mav.
Very interesting plays coming out here then. I was pretty curious when these two players join the Sonics roster. What will be happening with Neptunes, because historically he was sort of the big fragger for the Sonics. Now they bring in two new fraggers. Is Neptune's going to shift off to something maybe a bit more flex role, or one of the two new players going to have to change things up? It seems like it's, at least in this first couple rounds, it's going to be Neptunes who kind of takes more of a back seat. It was the opening death last time, so we didn't really get to see how he wanted to play. But even just being on the Maverick, right, that says to me that he's probably going to be a little bit more supportive, gives the big fraggers in terms of Zophie and IQ to the Europeans that have joined this roster. So interesting to note that. And if one of the Europeans isn't waking up, they could always switch that around.
So we go down to Kitchen and Service now, or Kitchen and Freezer, sorry. And for the Sonics here on the attack, this should be pretty simple, trying to push in there. Bringing the double hard breach in the Maverick as well, trying to poke open some wall or some holes in the reinforced walls. But at the same time, there's never really a whole lot you can do with Maverick, at least on the Kitchen. There's way too many anchored spots at deep angles for FaZe to be able to play. They only have one ACOG on Astro, so the attackers will get the advantage in those specific engagements. But I feel for Neptunes on the Maverick on this one.
Gonna be a little bit tough, but I'm sure he's very confident he can pull something out of thin air if he needs to. Here we go, getting into more of the droning of the bomb site, right? I mean, I like this position from Gonfi. Upside down repel, always very powerful, and he gets rewarded because of it, and it's going to be a headshot onto Astro. You like to see that answered back as Ion says, bye-bye. There goes a C4 to get the trade. So that's something, 1 for 1, but I think you're pretty happy with that for Sonics, right? You took down the Maestro, you lost the Zofia. Yeah, yes, please.
Yeah, you can't use the Evil Eyes anymore, and it looks like Super has dealt with one that was sitting inside of this cables area right beside the bottom of Red Stairs, so they've only got one Evil Eye up left. Ion's still playing inside of Prep, and he's going to escape the three members of Sonics. They're all staring down the barrel of him, trying to retreat. Free Fire's come in, and Sleben not really sure where Ion had backed off to, but he's going to make it fully back into the depths of Kitchen. The second Evil Eye, again, very close to where the first one was placed. Seems like guys have different ideas on these Evil Eye placements than is conventional, but Sleben firing into this off wall. Spotted ahead there for a moment, but hitting the deck will be Ion to get back into safety. And retreat even deeper into Prep now, into Kitchen. Got two members outside of the breach hole. Got us successfully able to open up the Kitchen wall. Now this is looking pretty good for an execute here for the Sonics.
Yeah, no, I like this position a lot. They've gotten the wall open. They've got a whole lot of angles to take care of. FaZe Clan do have a lot of people inside of there, so you might be a little bit worried about that. And with the damage on the Sleben, at least he stays alive. But they need to start making something happen. FaZe Clan are not really peaking things right now. They're just sort of sitting back and say, okay, Sonics, you've got your opening. Just come on in, and let's see how this plays on out. Cameraman a little bit of on a flank, so he's somebody to watch out for a little bit later into this round. And what a shot from Sleben. Goes downtown, and he's going to be able to hit the one onto Yuna. A pretty tight angle for him to hit. So you like seeing that coming out from the Sonics. Still a minute on this clock, and Neptune's answers right on back. Mav also going to fall to the ground, and that leaves just two. Cameraman outside. He's definitely detected. Ion's out there getting kills while he's just sort of messing around outside, and especially with another person, Sleben, getting the down onto Ion and eventually killing him. Super down on the ground, too. So it's basically a 1-on-2 right now until they pick up their IGL. Cameraman now lurking around. Future is getting planted at the moment, so Cameraman's got to kind of make a big play. They know where he's at, though, and Neptune's able to hit those shots. The Sonics equalize in round number 2.
Yeah, that was a good push there from the Sonics, and I mean, that immediate pick onto Astro really set things off. It was a great pick there from Gomfi, the upside-down repel outside of the bakery double door, and from then on, it was, FaZe trying to get into it, FaZe trying to take a swing. That Nitro from Ion was pretty powerful to trade that one back out, but at the end of it, there was nothing really to stop the wall after that from getting opened up. And for the Sonics, they held out the flanks properly. Cameraman thought his best opportunity to flank was to run to Narnia outside. So if you've got a team holding flanks that well that Cameraman decides, yeah, let's go for a jog in the snow, you're doing a good job of holding rotation. So well done there to the Sonics. We're going to go back down to Kitchen, servicing, cooking for FaZe, and a 6-pick now from Mav. He's going to get off the Legion. He's going to go to Doc now and pick up a second ACOG to join Astro in the fight.
I kind of like they're going back to Kitchen now because we talked about that last round. A big problem with it was the entry frag onto Astro, right? The fact that he died so early on the micro was a big problem for them, as we were talking about. So it's pretty easy to fix that, right? If he knows his angles, he plays a little bit more passively, knows somebody's going to be on that upside down rappel, you can sort of try to counter that. And if that doesn't happen, I think FaZe Clan play a little bit less scared. They're willing to do more aggressive stuff and go for those peaks that we typically like to see from them. Perhaps not that cameraman run out, but other sorts of aggression, right? Just taking your gunfights, right? Even going for peaks that you don't think the Soniqs are going to be expecting. It's tougher now, sure, because again, Stalemate and Gonfi, very good fraggers, and you've got to respect that. But I don't think FaZe Clan are going to back down at all, as we've been saying. Pretty even in terms of kills. Ion perhaps a little bit higher, and he's been playing good. 2 rounds in, of course, though, so I don't think there's a huge amount of information that we can gain out of that.
No, the one thing I'm interested about this setup for FaZe, so Ion's still making his nice little nitro toss hole here, but there were kill holes in the floor of Kitchen and Prep this time. Last time around, FaZe did not play vertically. They played 5 on site or 5 on the same floor as the site. This time around, there's a lot of kill holes prepped inside of the floor looking down into the bomb site. I didn't see anyone for FaZe rotate upstairs just yet. Neptune's charged right through the gates. He'll get one on Ion before the trade comes from Yuna. Launching out a nitro cell, but he gets stuck in the ceiling. One pressing right through his door frame, and he pre-fires too early. Gonfi, another one onto Yuna. And now FaZe, again, quickly trapped inside of the site. This is not looking good, and the Soniqs, honestly, beautiful aggression there for Nep.
Yeah, that was great aggression to be called out by their IGL, but team call, and it really seems to work out for them. Getting Ion off the board, again, he's been a little bit strong in this matchup, so you're able to do that. And they're not going to fully commit to that rush, right? They're not going to send all 5 people in immediately. They went for that entry. They got a 1-for-2 trade. You like that math, works out in your favor, so now you can slow it down a little bit. Now you've already put FaZe Clan in a difficult situation, and they might have to do risky stuff like this. Mav now going to do the exact same run out. He doesn't get detected this time, and he's got that ACOG, so it's a bit different operator, so I think I like that a lot better. He's not risking too much. It's not too bad. Meanwhile, cameraman, useful elsewhere, right? Up top, he's going to be able to use those floorboards, take down Slevin. That's one thing we haven't seen from the Soniqs at all, really. They don't seem to care about that top floor.
Using the Evil Eye to do a little bit of damage to Gonfi now. It's probably the person you want to be targeting for the remaining 3 members for the Soniqs. But just under a minute and a half to work with here, and oh my, almost losing the second Evil Eye now. But cameraman uncontested upstairs is going to have perfect view of all of these holes into the objective, the breach holes. And Astro in the depths with the ult to remove the head of Goddess. The diffuser is now surrendered, and a man advantage in the favor of FaZe Clan now. This is looking, it started out good for the Soniqs, but they've stalled out inside a bakery. They haven't made any forward progression. It's because of cameraman's top presence looking down. They can't push into the breach holes that they've made. And with Astro playing deep with the Alda, there's nowhere to push through.
That adaptation from cameraman, right? This is so much better of a position compared to him, what he was up to last round, right? So I like this a lot, and Soniqs don't seem to have an answer. Now they're very low on players, so like if you put somebody up top, you've got one guy running into 2 on the bomb site. That's a really tough spot too. So do you just try to ignore him? Do you try to take that vertical battle through the floorboards? It's tough no matter what you want to do, and I don't think there's a great answer to it. Lining up for Astro is not a good answer either. Super gets the trade, but now he's in a 1-on-2, and he's got 30 seconds to go on that clock. It's a juiced up Doc that he's got to go up against in the hands of Mav, and cameraman still in a position where he might be able to get the drop on Super. Still up top, you saw him. Could be going for the rotate, and they both collapse on him on the staircase. Cameraman will the one claim that frag. FaZe Clan take round 3.
Like you said, the adaptation for FaZe. Going upstairs and playing vertically, knowing that the Soniqs did not contest vertically at all last time, and it looked like they wanted to run that same kind of strategy again. Barrel in through bakery, pushing through prep, and just overload onto site. But cameraman playing above with the kill holes, and honestly, like Yuna's trade there with the shoddy point blank, even though he got taken out immediately after inside of prep, it still worked out for them because everyone else on the site was able to retreat deep and play the ACOG angles. Mav holding long haul so that no one could push down the bottom of red stairs to the center doorway into kitchen, just outside the exterior bar. So for FaZe there, good repelling of the initial aggression, and then the Soniqs just stalling out after having no contestation upstairs to clear out cameraman.
A bit of adaptation from both teams we saw, right? Soniqs maybe taking things a little bit quicker than they did that first time. FaZe Clan in particular, though, moving cameraman around was, I think, the key thing in that round. So now they're going to go back upstairs, and it has opened up once more. So the bar is open again. Interesting, we haven't really seen anything from the middle floor out of FaZe Clan. Usually a lot of teams do like to go into that reading room. Not this time around. Perhaps we'll see it later in round 4, 5, and 6. But for 4, we're back here in bar, and again, on the stats, not a huge amount of differences. We'll see how this defense changes, if at all.
Looks like Astro's putting those same Evil Eyes down. They're loving this. They are loving this Evil Eye setup.
I think I have an idea for it, and if perhaps you really want to, A, have vision on this, but B, shoot people with Evil Eyes, I can see having two, right? You have one to shoot. Yeah, you got one to shoot people with, and then even if it dies, you still have that info there. It feels like over the past few months, we've seen less people try to shoot with the Evil Eyes.
Yeah.
It seems like we really have just shifted to using them almost entirely for vision. But in this event in particular, when G2 played against BDS, they were doing a lot of shooting with Evil Eyes. So perhaps it's something that's coming back into popular playstyles.
Yeah, it definitely has picked up quite a lot, actually using the Evil Eyes to zap away, whether it be utility or just try and ping down the health as slow as it is. It's like 3 health per shot, so I mean, you're really not going to get too far with it, because someone will turn around and shoot it eventually. And it's kind of a cat and mouse game. How long can you keep shooting for? How much damage can you do before you're risking the life of the Evil Eye? And I think you're right, stacking up the both, it's a safety net. If you go too long on the first Evil Eye and someone turns around and shoot it, you still got a second one looking at the exact same angle.
So the entry from Soniqs has been pretty standard so far. It looks like they have some people up on that top floor already, which you like to see. Goddess opening up this wall into Piano should be quite helpful for them. Nothing really crazy from FaZe Clan either, right? I don't see them having any roamers that are too far off the bomb sites. They don't really seem to have anybody downstairs from what I can tell either, so they're pretty good. Ion on the staircase might become a bit of a problem, but all things where they're at right now, there's a run out from Nav. That's the crazy stuff we were talking about. Super, who was able to clean him up, though. It's an unsuccessful jump out from him.
Yeah, looks like Ion might want to tack onto that. They do the Valk cam outside, but Super's going to spot that. He is extremely low on HP. If Mav had any other game or any other gun in the game besides the MPX, that's probably a kill in his favor, and he's retreating back. But Super's held. I mean, that was excellent patience from Super to be able to hold outside the entire round, essentially. More than a minute and a half just spent staring at windows, waiting for the jump. Goddess taking a little bit of damage from, I believe, the Evil Eye. But the second exothermic charge will detonate successfully into Freezer, so much better progression here for Soniqs, and they have the man advantage.
Cameraman we saw a while ago just daring somebody to push forward to him with a shotgun in hand. He's still in this position, and if he goes at the right time, he might find somebody. Certainly not being quiet. I mean, they're going to know there's a man with a shotgun right around this corner, and Slevin very ready in case he tries to make anything happen. We saw the barrel of his gun for just a moment, but I don't think he really wants to get aggressive. Now it'll be Golfy who wants to take that fight, and he'll win it. 3-on-5 now. The Soniqs extend their lead that they have, and in the hallway, Ion just shrinks it a little bit. Yuna equalizes. Soniqs have dropped that diffuser now, and we're all tied up. Super with a double kill, though, and they're all falling apart. Ion in a 1-on-3 needs to be able to call this one back. 27 seconds, so not a lot of time, but again, very weak for Ion. So this is tough. Diffuser has just been picked back up, so that's not going to be a problem. Neptune's on full HP, can try to plant that, or he can just go for the kills. There we go, starting that plant. Fakes it, though, because he is kind of close to Ion. This could be bad. Why you planting there? I guess they get the trade anyways. Soniqs, they're going to tie it up once again. We go back and forth.
Coverage there from Super being close by, just waiting for the peak, and I mean, man, Ion almost had that. Like you said, low HP all around the board, and it was Neptune's that was full HP that was going to plant. That was again, very scary.
Yeah.
But for that round there for the Soniqs, they're able to get through and get the progression done in a timely fashion. They're waiting for the jump outs. They're playing that baiting game, waiting for FaZe to go for those heavy swings that they like to go for. So equalizing once again at a 2-2. We got a back and forth seesaw game going on here, and FaZe are going to run it back on bar once again. Same operators. We'll see. There's 2 people left who can 6-pick for FaZe, and seems like everyone in the Soniqs is pretty content with their roster. Neptune's has been on a bit of a carousel, but it's actually Super to get off the sledge and go to the Capitown.
I think Super's been pretty good so far this game. Sometimes he is a player that's been criticized for inconsistencies, but he definitely has his moments where he really pops off as a fragger. You also know he's doing a lot of that in-game leader type stuff, so I think it's been a good game for him so far. Don't mind him switching up the roles one bit. The Capitao being brought out, I mean, he's a very powerful operator. What we don't typically see in this game, like in the past 4 rounds, we haven't seen him a whole lot, which is a little bit surprising because, again, like a lot of people really sing the praises of this guy, and you can see Super right there, top of your scoreboard, but the kills are pretty spread out.
One thing I did like from the Soniqs last round was their ability to push through bar and win their fights against anchors who were holding angles to shut down any progression from the Soniqs through the bar. I mean, they were very low HP, and yet it just came down to those 1v1s in the gunfights, and the Soniqs prevailed. And FaZe just losing control of the bar was really at the end. They had the man advantage, they had health advantage in spades, but it was incredible gunfighting skills for the Soniqs that won them over on that round when they just barraged through the bar. It was a pretty clean sweep as soon as they lost that cigar door control.
So for FaZe Clan this time around, I mean, you don't want to end up in a 1-on-3 again. I think that's pretty much every round for everybody. It'd be interesting to me if they go for any sort of a spawn peek again. We're a little bit in so far, and it doesn't seem like they're going for that. But they had the options, right? I mean, Mav on that dock, you've still got another ACOG in terms of Maestro, and then Ion, you know, you never know what he's going to try to do. So they didn't go for it, at least nothing successful that we noticed. So no harm, no foul, nothing went down. Which means they're content to just let the Soniqs pull on in. I don't think they're too concerned about this, considering how close the game's been so far.
No, like I said last round, Super is very content to sit here and wait.
Yeah.
Wait and wait and wait. Because he knows it's coming. It looks like it's going to be Ion, this time going out the bakery double door. Never mind. He's going to retreat back. It's been a minute, and I mean, at least he's occupying one member of the Soniqs' time. But it's Super. A lot of his utility can be used late round, and for the most part, content to sit there while the rest of the team continues their progression and push like they did last round.
Interesting they're not using the Valkyrie this time, but Cameraman with a shotgun gets the first kill, traded off as Slevin is there to avenge his European friend. So that's another player down on each side. And so that's a trade 1-for-1. I think both teams are fine with that. You know, no crucial operators really lost. I think the guns are maybe a little bit better for the Soniqs. Maybe not the biggest fragger in terms of Cameraman on FaZe Clan, but still, I mean, he's on FaZe Clan. He's going to be a good gunner. A little bit of damage on a Yuna. Map will be able to heal that up pretty easily. And, okay, Ion going to be able to get a nice run out onto Neptunes, putting the numbers in favor of FaZe.
Patience there from Ion. He waited for Super to evacuate his position and then hits the run out in perfect timing. And I was going to give the Soniqs a lot of credit for not staying on windows, not staying on rappel. They were getting in and gaining ground quickly without being caught out on rappels in danger positions where FaZe really like to take advantage of you. But that one there, Neptune's just in the middle of a swing into the window to join the rest of the team. Ion's patience prevails. Now they have the man advantage. Super extremely low on HP as well in a previous engagement. So now for the Soniqs, they're also having difficulties pushing into the freezer. They can't get the wall open just about yet. Goddess is going to try and go for a plant inside the wall. Not sure if anyone's aware of this, and it'll be Yuna with the Nitro Cell. Previously docked up, Astro will tack on, and now it's all Super alone at the skylight, whiffing a lot of shots onto Mav, whipping out the pistol in absolute desperation, but there's 35 seconds. The diffuser is surrounded by FaZe Clan members, and for Super, it's a chance to recollect with the rest of the team and conversate, and that'll be Astro shutting it down. FaZe Clan respond back with fierceness.
I don't think that was the time to plant if you're the Soniqs. You still got about 40 seconds at that point when they start to go for the plants, and you're at a numbers disadvantage. I feel like you really want to get a little bit more control before you go for something like that, especially since there was somebody waiting with the Nitro Cell. I mean, at least deal with that guy or somebody else so you can plant in a better position where you're not going to get collapsed on like that. Once Goddess is in the planting animation, she was a free kill, and then you're basically in a 2-on-4. Pretty tough for them to try to pull that one out. FaZe Clan take the lead once again, but I mean, it's been such a close match so far. I'm not super worried for the Soniqs in a situation like this. We'll finally head to Reading Room Fireplace Hall.
Yeah, it looks like FaZe want to swap it up, anticipating that there will be some kind of counter strat from the Soniqs to push into the top floor to clear out Cameraman, as that was their real stall factor last time. Super again 6-picking into the Capitao. It didn't have a whole lot of effect last round because Super was very low HP and playing the Skylight. I think Super's position there was to try and cover for anyone to swing out of Freezer to take care of Goddess, but you don't need to swing very far to throw a Nitro Cell to that door frame. So that was, like you said, a freebie there for Yuna, and Super just unable to cover because there's no visibility there. He's playing behind an indestructible wall inside of the Freezer. And the asphyxiating bolts are, I guess, what are they being renamed to? Flame bolts now?
I think so.
Okay. Hey, that's better. They didn't have a whole lot of effect on the round last time anyway, but we got a new bomb site for the last defensive stand here for FaZe, less than overtime, and for the Soniqs, I mean, like you said, they've already been doing pretty well. They've already hit their quota, really, for what they need to stay in this. 4-2 splits, again, just kind of like Clubhouse and Villa. Pretty common here on Café. If you get the 3-3, that's a pretty good advantage.
Yeah, I definitely think you're wanting that 3-3, right, for the Soniqs. Gives you more security and gives you a better chance to actually win. If you go 4-2 down, it's fine, but like you're probably looking towards maybe an overtime win or something along that line. It's a very close game. You can actually really pull it back if you go 3-3 on the attack. So yeah, Soniqs, I think they want this one pretty well, but this is a bomb site they haven't attacked on yet, right? And so somebody's inside, as Neptunes will discover. He's going to try to blast this one open. He will with a sledgehammer in hand. Nobody's directly inside, but he's kind of shooting that window out, so they can start to peeking towards that as they get into the building.
Slav's going to drop the red hatch. First member for the Soniqs in the building. He's going to breach open the soft wall left open. This is a lot of top control in towards mining, and typically you have like a rotation going on between dining to train to mining for one defender to try and hold the long angle in towards pillars. Maybe you'd even have some kill holes here in the red hall, but FaZe opting to kind of peel back a little bit and just anchor up, and Soniqs taking advantage of that map control. Are already barreling in through mining and through dining. Neptune's going to grab one on a cameraman as they all charge into the bomb site.
Okay, this is a bit of aggression coming out from the Soniqs now. You like to see this very, very quickly. We're not even halfway through just yet. Going for a couple more frags there. 3-on-4. Slevin and Map both going to pick up one apiece. Oh, Map with the double kill now. He's doing a lot of work so far. Astro holding that Alda, waiting for somebody to push on into him. It's Slevin with another one, too. Holding on now. It's still a player's advantage for Soniqs, but it's not too heavy. We've got so much time in this round. Slevin with a triple kill is going to be all on a Map to try to pull this one back. And again, with so much time on the clock, this is heavily favored for the Soniqs. Slevin on just under half HP. Soniqs are going to do it, though. Goddess taking down Mav. And they're happy with that. 3-3 split, as we were talking about. Very good.
Well done there for the Soniqs. And I mean, for FaZe Clan there, like I said, they gave up a lot of map control for free. No contestant upstairs in Piano, the cocktail bar. The rotation there for, I believe it was Ion on Jaeger?
Yeah.
Okay. Ion on Jaeger to go down Whitehall and then retreat down White Stairs. Kind of questionable. You'd think if everyone's barreling into mining, Red Stairs would be your perfect opportunity to flank. Also, the Valkyrie of Mav there in Pillars just not having a whole lot of effect in the gunfight, stopping anyone pushing through a hard fast through mining. And for FaZe Clan there, that was just an oversight on personnel deployment. Really, they did not have enough map control towards the mining and Piano side, and Soniqs took full advantage and pressed in through with tempo.
So you're not going to have a Thermite. You're going to have a Montaigne, a Ying, a Dukebi. Okay. I mean, these are very unorthodox operators coming out from FaZe Clan. Buck and Zofia are pretty standard, but everybody else is like, what is this?
I like it. Don't get me wrong.
I'm gonna wait to say that I like it. I'm gonna see how this round plays out.
I don't care if they get perfect rounded. I don't. This is awesome. I like this. We saw a Ying yesterday.
Okay, yeah, true.
Didn't do anything.
Nope.
But hey.
We did see Dukebi earlier today, too, and that was pretty effective coming out. So, fine. These operators certainly can be effective. I don't think we've seen a Montaigne at this moment. I haven't at the very least in the games that I've been casting. So, that'll be an interesting one to see how it gets utilized. I think Yuna's probably a fine Montaigne. Can't recall any times that he played it. FaZe doesn't seem like a big shield team to me. But he's been typically more of their support player, so I don't mind that he's going to be jumping on this operator.
Oh, Gonfi may be thinking about going for a spawn peek there, trying to match the aggression that FaZe have been bringing, but that Valkyrie camera will get spotted, so FaZe safe in spawn for now.
Getting up onto the top of the building, too, we see Mav, like, scaling this, getting back up with his teammates. It'll be interesting where we actually see the Montaigne try to entry through. If he's trying to drop through a hatch, maybe not the most effective place for him to be utilizing his shield, right? Because he still could get shot through the hatch, but I think as long as it's safe enough, it's not going to be too big of an issue, and they're going to take it slowly, right? They're going to drone for themselves. They're going to make sure it's clear before they drop Yuna down through that hatch and try to attack onto this bar bomb site. Astro as well is another one for me. Like, where is he actually going to deploy these bits of utility that he has to try to flash all the defenders, and when? Because sometimes mistiming those Candelas can be really crucial to you.
Yeah, my big worry right now for the Soniqs is they have 3 Nitro cells, so they do have a little bit of utility to use to try and contend with Yuna, but you're going to have to get below. And FaZe right now paying a little bit of attention to the bottom of Red Stairs. There's also pings coming out to a member on the new hatch balcony, and ADS saving the life of Neptunes, and Gomfi firing up to the hatch will take down Astro. There goes the Ying. We're not going to see any Candelas. A Nitro cell goes soaring, but will not connect. That's 1 down. You got 2 left. Yuna drops the red hatch to join Ion as they try to push through. Neptune's contesting point-blank range, and there goes the Nitro from below. Slevin blasts him sky high. Yuna meets his maker. Now Ion alone underneath the red hatch at the top of Red Stairs. He's got a pinch coming in from inside of Piano.
Soniqs very quickly shutting down all of the operators on FaZe. The silly ones first, and then cleaning up the rest of them, too. 1 kill for Ion on the round, but it doesn't really matter in the other things. Soniqs gonna take their very first lead here in the 7th round.
That one seemed like it broke down pretty quickly there for FaZe. Nice shots hit by Gomfi up to the skylight, and the Nitro cell by Slevin downstairs. Talked about how Slevin and Gomfi needed to make an impact coming in, and look, they're making an impact against one of the best teams in the entire world in FaZe Clan. Like I said, I anticipated FaZe to ban away Café. I didn't really anticipate them wanting to play this map, especially against the Soniqs, who have made this not really their home, but one of their better maps in the rotation. FaZe has such a deep map pool on every other map in the pool, so I was surprised when I saw this coming out. We'll see how Consulate and Bank go. Those are going to be very different stories, I imagine. But for FaZe, you probably don't want to prolong this. You just had a lengthy, tiring, maybe morale-dropping game against TSM just a few hours ago. You probably don't want this one to go the distance either, because you still have a quarterfinal game to play later today if you make it through.
It's a long day for FaZe Clan. I will say for this, like, they did at least get a break before this match. The winners' matches happened before the losers' matches, so Soniqs just got off a game into this one. FaZe Clan have had a couple of hours, but also Soniqs' game was, I think, a 7-1, 7-2, and FaZe Clan had, like, 3 maps of overtimes and long rounds and a lot to deal with. So certainly I think FaZe Clan still have a lot to get back in from mentally at the very least. We go back down to the kitchen for this bomb site. Of course, the second round, the Soniqs will choose to defend. Such a strong bar defense from them. I wonder how this one is going to play differently and how that vertical play is actually going to come to their defense.
This entire wall inside the kitchen getting blown open head height, and Goddess trying to use the 44, try and open up some kill holes. I mean, the shotgun will do better, but maybe you want to preserve that ammunition for later on, because the TCSG is very deceptive, and you think you have so much ammo to make kill holes, and then you walk away after your setup and have 7 left and go, oh, I have to use the 44 auto mag for the rest of the round. That's not fun.
Yeah, it's a really tough position to be in, especially if you only want a small little hole like that. I mean, it's fine to use the pistol. Why not, right? Preserve that ammo just in case it comes in handy a little bit later on. So FaZe Clan, I mean, pretty standard start. They're going to go this top down, it seems like. There's not a whole lot of people outside the building circling from the ground floor. They want to go up on the roof, and they want to make something happen from there.
It looks like Gonfi's been droned out. I don't think Astro stares at this stairwell for this long without Gonfi's position being given away. Track Stingers on the gridlock will come out onto the reading stairs just to make sure that there's no one rotating up for a flank. They do have a lot of top control. Like you said, FaZe going top down on this one, and the Soniqs not contesting upstairs, not really playing a whole lot of top control up towards reading and mining or dining anywhere. So this is free real estate for Astro and the rest of FaZe to push in. My next worry, though, is the conversion. You only have Yuna with the Hibana instead of the Thermite to open up walls. It seems like it's going to be very top-down for FaZe to try and get picks onto anchors playing strong positions. I
think FaZe Clan are also going to need to worry about that flank watch. If they let somebody from Soniqs, like Slevin or Gonfi, run on up those stairs late round, they can cause a lot of damage, right? So make sure that you're focusing on that as well as focusing on these floorboards. Get some picks down there, and you can provide the flank to stop that and not get killed by C4s. That would be great. Super going to open things up with a kill on an Ion. And, I mean, that's one of the best ways to counter somebody playing above you, right? Just throw up a Nitro Cell. What are they going to do?
Good timing there for Super on the Nitro. So he gets one. Goddess should still also have a Nitro Cell in the back pocket for another one. It's another worry for FaZe Clan to have. And one of your better gunning operators on your lineup and one of your better gunners in this game right now, an Ion, has been taken care of. As Electroclaw on top of the hatch by Goddess is also stalling out. It looks like Yuna wants to open up the freezer hatch, and looks like Mav is going to try and use a frag grenade to get rid of it, and it does exactly so. So there goes the hatch, but time is running so low here for FaZe as the hatch gets opened up, and they're going to have to execute in a flurry of chaos.
And because they have so many players up top, like a lot of their players can't actually get down and start planting this bomb. Goddess making it even harder. His cameraman will fall to her. Very, very difficult. Now with these hatches, they can get down a little bit quickly, but they're going to be a little bit exposed. Going to toss down that flash grenade, but oh no, Neptune's just waiting and watching. But Astro somehow actually with the drop shot takes him down. There's still the player disadvantage though, and Goddess makes sure it's even wider. Mav is nowhere near the bomb site. He is not going to be able to make it all the way back in time. This is going to be the game or the round for Soniqs. They're going to take a 5-3 lead. Very good for them, honestly, coming to this this map.
Like I said, surprised they wanted to go to Café.
Yeah.
Just the time control right now for FaZe seems in both of their attacking rounds, they're stalling out a lot on their progression, and getting to the objective is becoming quite the hurdle for them. We saw a couple members for FaZe either die on the roof when they were attacking bar, or die as soon as they dropped in through hatches and tried to push out beyond Cigar. If you're not getting any ground like the Soniqs were, that was something I was really praising the Soniqs for, was their ability to gain ground with tempo, not get caught up in a lot of minutia of trying to push in. Their conversion and their progression, their pacing was wonderful in the Soniqs. For FaZe right now, this is a demonstration of ineptitude for being able to progress through the map and make sure you're applying pressure. Everyone on the Soniqs right now is sitting back and relaxing.
3 rounds in a row now for the Soniqs, and what used to be a very back-and-forth game has kind of given them a bit of an advantage. But I wouldn't say that Soniqs are a hugely momentum-driven team. Seems like typically they can sort of keep cool and like utilize their strategies as best they can. Now, certainly there can be some tempers perhaps on this squad, and if things start going in the wrong direction, I think negative momentum is going to affect them a lot more than positive momentum. But it seems like at least in this situation, like they don't have to worry about that too hard. They still got to play their game though, 2 more rounds. Consider it as if it's a 0-0, right? It's very important for Soniqs to keep their cool.
Yeah, and I think one of the things about the Soniqs is we've never really seen them perform this well before. I mean, they've been getting trounced pretty hard in North American Pro League for the entire split.
True.
They did have 1 win, but outside of that, we just haven't seen a whole lot out of this team unless it was in Challenger League against a very different level of competition, especially in North America. This is a new look for the Soniqs that I'm enjoying seeing, honestly.
Yeah, and it's nice to see this after such a big roster move.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 2 players, sure. Oh, people have made 2-player rosters before, but it's, you know, it's international, right? It's Europeans coming over to play on North American soil. First time we've really seen something like that to this scale at this level of competition. So you want it to have a big impact, even if you're just thinking about it from a scenes perspective. These guys to come on in and these guys to make an impact for the Soniqs, taking a map off FaZe Clan, perhaps even beating FaZe Clan at a best of 3, that would be huge for what interregional changes can bring. And Slevin with the first kill on a map. Great.
And that's going to slow down FaZe once again, man. They just can't get in. They're trying to drone through progression, and that's all the way up to the skylight. Slevin and Gomfi are just adoring using this central skylight right now to launch either bullets or explosives up through. They're having a world of a time with it so far. So FaZe finally make it in. Astro's going to push into Piano. Going to have 1 at the end of the hallway playing by Tarps, and that'll be Neptunes on the Legion. Looking for Mines, and Slevin taking a lot of damage there, it sounded like at the hands of Ion. Another Nitrous. That's going to fall way short for Goddess. Neptunes has been down at the top of White Stairs as well. It's a good response here. Yuna's going to take down Gomfi, so suddenly things are falling apart for the Soniqs.
Cameron with another 1 headshot on a Slevin, so they're collecting these. Hello, Astro found it eventually. Neptune's just hiding behind those grades, doesn't see it coming, Astro. That's a 3rd kill in a row for FaZe Clan, so despite losing that opening, they've really bounced back and put Soniqs in a difficult position. It's Super and Goddess, the original 2 members of this squad, to try to hold it down, and they're on some powerful anchor operators, don't get me wrong. They can stall out a lot of time, but a minute and a half or so is still a lot of time, and FaZe Clan are in great positions, right? They are holding on to that top floor. They're able to get on down. They're playing these windows, and Goddess needs a big kill here, but she won't do it. Cameraman expecting the vault out and hits the headshot nice and cleanly, puts Super into a 1-on-4, and this is a tough position. Now he's got an Alda. He is Super, so I've seen this happen before, but it's a tough spot. He's going to be creeping the stairs. Ion's ready for it, and he just puts him to bed. FaZe Clan bounce back. They take round number 9, and now we're back to a 1-round game.
I got worries from there for FaZe again, but I will commend them tremendously for their seemingly changing of mental styles for the last 3 rounds compared to that one. Every time there was something happening where the Soniqs would provide any kind of resistance or impediment to their progression, they would stall. They would sit around in one spot and not move and not gain ground and not move anywhere, really. And that time, the opening pick onto Mav on the Buck, I said that's going to slow them down again. Instead, they flip it on a dime and they go charging through and they pick up 3 kills for it. We know everyone on FaZe are well equipped to get into a gunfight battle, even with Slevin and Gomfi. Even with some of the better fraggers now on this team, you still have that capability. The utility also for FaZe, it's still a little weird. We saw this coming out of Chaos yesterday too, just adoring the Dokkaebi that didn't have a whole lot of effect. And that round there, I don't even think I saw a phone call. And cameraman was able to hack the cameras at the end, but it was Super in a 1v4, so
Right.
cameras weren't really the biggest factor on that round. So for FaZe, I don't know. I think if they just turn this into more of a slugfest like we're used to seeing from them, this could go a lot better for them. They're not out of it yet. They're just in an uphill battle having to be on the attack on Café.
Yeah, I mean, I think FaZe Clan have shown a lot of respect for Soniqs and the fact they haven't been incredibly aggressive, which is good to see because Soniqs, especially with their roster moves, right, they have a lot of that fragging potential, and FaZe Clan, you know, they've struggled a lot in terms of international competition. In Brazil, they are one of the best rosters that I think we've ever seen, probably that we've ever seen. But you go internationally and they just struggle to find any sort of success. Arguably the best team to never win an international LAN. Looking really good coming into this one. Of course, a strong performance in Raleigh. Definitely one of the contenders, at least in my mind, but now they've lost to TSM. A loss here, not even making it out of groups, would be devastating. You combine that with Chaos not making it out of groups, and yeah, the rest of the world is just not standing up to North America. But, I mean, hey, it's only map 1. It's only a 4-5 scoreline. They're not any close to out of it yet.
No, and I think that's the transition for FaZe, transitioning from their regional play in Latin America to their international play. They do have very different styles comparatively to when they play in LATAM against LATAM teams versus playing internationally or interregionally against other teams. For FaZe, like the last 6-9 months for them just have not been great on international land, like you mentioned, and a lot of people coming into this event were predicting that maybe this would be the turning point for them, and I think they have the roster to do it. Mav is going to open things wide open onto Neptune, so finally that ADS will get burnt, and there goes Neptune's playing close to the hatches. Trying to do his best vertical impression. We saw that in Valencia for the other DreamHack, where Vert was playing underneath these new hatches on the balcony and just murking people up through those hatches.
Sometimes the grenades can be very effective, and Cameraman extends their lead with a kill on a Slevin. So you're getting these kills now, okay? And this is good for FaZe Clan. This is kind of a round where you need to bounce back, because this is the best bomb site for Soniqs. It's the one they started out on, and they did end up winning it. Cameraman comes on in with a double kill, and this will be a hacked camera, so not always impactful, but this time it is going to come into effect. Super with a return kill on a Mav, so eventually trades that one out. It's been a while, though, since he initially got the opening frag. Goddess now hunting for a couple more, and Super's got her flank covered, so not necessarily flank, but a crossfire here, as he wants to run on in with a Nitro cell. Just kind of, oh, that actually hits Yuna. I wasn't sure that was going to. Super with the triple. Oh, a nice flick onto the window. He eventually gets shut down, but it still leaves Goddess in a 1-on-2. That's a lot better than what she was looking at before in terms of that 1-on-4. Super, almost no chance to get up now, but do FaZe Clan know that he's down? Oh, they do, but Goddess watching the crossfire. She gets the first one. Can she get the last one? A 1-on-1. Cameraman on very little HP. It's winnable for her, and she'll do it. Soniqs take round 10, and they advance themselves even farther in this map. Really well done by those last two remaining Soniqs players.
Super unleashed on that round there. Nitrocell and the SMG-11 pressing up, and you gotta credit Super and Goddess in that one in the 2v5. Unreal performance there for the two support players that we're talking about that maybe haven't been doing so hot as of recent. That's a great turnaround for the both of them, and now they put themselves on map point here on Café, up 6-4. For FaZe Clan on that one, everything was going for them. They just weren't anticipating the aggression and covering the rotates pretty poorly there for Goddess and Super to both be able to push up all the way to converge on the top red door. That usually should not be happening, but FaZe may be getting a little overzealous in the fact that, hey, we have the 5v2. Let's start going. Let's clean up this round. Let's draw it up. Let's get 5-5 and move on.
And I love that, right? Because you talk about like the players added on to Soniqs, as I was saying before this round started, right? Slevin and Golfy, they're definitely going to be able to get some frags, but they're not going to be able to kill every single round. And there's going to be times where they die and they leave the other members of Soniqs alone, and they put some pressure on their teammates. It's not guys who are constantly going to carry this team. That has to be spread out equally. And so it's good that the Soniqs, they're old players, right? The players that were initially struggling in North American Pro League still can contribute and still can do a lot of the work when those Europeans aren't showing up.
Well, the one thing I was so impressed by was how FaZe read that round. The first progression of Cameraman downstairs, pushing up reading stairs, that frag grenade on the Neptunes in tandem with the burning of the ADS. FaZe had their strat open on the table in front of them. We're picking it apart one piece at a time. They got all three members that were either off-site or playing aggressive. You have it in the bag at that point. But then, I don't know, maybe the nerves start getting to you and you start forgetting the progression for the last two members. And you really got to credit Super and Goddess on that one to be able to push up with that much aggression and that much confidence in their play to pull that one back. Because that's not a play that you see people on a 2v5 pull all that often, where we're all going to converge in very open angles and try and continuously aggress onto the remaining 5 members against you.
So the last time that we saw Soniqs hold on this bomb site was a very vertical push from FaZe Clan, right? They went top floor, second floor, first floor, and then they started attacking right onto the bomb site. And they really struggled with stuff like C4s. They really struggled with how Soniqs were counteracting their vertical play. This time, it seems like there's more FaZe Clan members on the ground, right? You've got Cameraman on your screen right now, running around there. They still have this top floor pressure, right? So they don't completely abandon that, and perhaps that's good because Golfy's down here on the first floor going for some spawn peeks, and that could have been devastating. But they might want to spread that out a little bit more. You can see they've already got players on the second floor. Keep it quick, and then don't fall to C4s, and this push still could work.
Yeah, for FaZe, once again, replicating the top down, like you said, and for them last time, it wasn't so much the top control that was the issue. It was the convergence to then get a site execute going. When they wanted to push down to the objective, their best opportunity was to drop this freezer hatch into the immediate death from an Elda. That's not your best option. There are many better options you can pull throughout the rest of the site to push in through. So for FaZe here, hopefully expediting things. We're already 90 seconds deep and we're just opening up holes. This, again, it's getting worrisome here for FaZe.
Yeah, again, those C4s still going to be a bit of a threat. Soniqs, I'm sure they're ready to prep those and let them rip. At the moment, though, I don't believe any have been tossed on out, and everybody's still alive and healthy. So FaZe Clan, like, they've gotten the ground that they like to get. No real contention from Soniqs there, but they haven't been able to catch anybody really out. They saw somebody on the drone just there. Ion was able to find him, despite the mute camera trying to slow him down. But he's still on that first floor, and if he can rotate back to his teammates, that's going to be huge for him. His phone call now is ringing, and he runs around the corner just in time. Ion, little slow on that trigger finger, and he's going all the way to that third floor. Gomfi is on a bit of a trek, and that could make life difficult for FaZe Clan. Mav now, one of the players who's going to have to worry about that. Now he's got to watch the stairs because there's somebody above him. What's he going to do about that? It's really throwing a wrench to the plan of FaZe Clan. If they're not able to react to this, this could be kind of devastating. We'll see as they continue to progress through this round. Only 35 seconds, so they're very much concerned about those players, and there's Gomfi coming back for the flank. Gomfi with 2 as he comes on forward. Astro's trying to get down some players as well. He gets the first in his own second, so it's a double kill answered by a double, puts us to 3, but Gomfi's still in here. He gets his triple kill. There's 2 players left alive, 1 on FaZe Clan, excuse me. But he kills, though. He's going to shut down Super first and foremost and start to work his way towards that bomb site. If he goes down, this will be the map win for Soniqs, so they are very excited to try to stop this last player in terms of Mab. Gets the first kill, though. That's a double. Now he just needs to find one more in a one-on-one, but Slevin is there. And the Soniqs will take it 7-4.